Hey everyone, it's May 13th, and that means that if today is your birthday, you share it with serial killer Waneta Hoyt, who killed 5 of her own biological children as infants in the 1960s and 70s, and that is her right up there. Born in New York in 1946, Hoyt suffered from measles as a child, causing permanent damage to her eyesight. She dropped out of school in the 10th grade to marry her husband in 1964, and they had their first child later that year when she was 18 years old. The boy died after just 3 months, with doctors believing his death was a tragic case of sudden infant death syndrome, which had only recently become known to most medical professionals. They had another boy in 1966, and Hoyt gave birth to their first daughter in 1968. Just 1 month after her birth, their daughter died, again ruled a case of SIDS, and that was followed 3 weeks later by their son dying, also ruled a result of SIDS. She began seeing a psychiatrist, and after a year of treatment, filed papers to be allowed to adopt a baby. But when she became pregnant once more, she dropped her plans to adopt and began meeting with a doctor at the Upstate Medical Center to research what could have possibly been happening to her children. Their daughter was born in 1970 and was the first baby in America to be on an apnea monitor to try to protect her from the same fate as her siblings, but she died after 3 months. A fifth child was born and died in 1971, and again SIDS was determined to be the cause. Her husband finally had a vasectomy, thinking that genetics were causing the repeated deaths of his children. The family was the subject of medical research into the causes of SIDS, and a controversial paper was published in 1972 about a possible link between sleep apnea and the syndrome based on their story. More turmoil ensued, but luckily the deaths stopped because the Hoyts weren't having any more children, though they were involved in a failed adoption attempt and finally a successful one in 1976. It wasn't until 1985 that a prosecutor took interest in the deaths of her 5 children, and he spent the next 9 years investigating the circumstances. In 1994, Hoyt was brought in for questioning, and she confessed the horrible truth. She had suffocated all 5 of her children to stop them from crying. She stated in her interview, "I suffocated Eric in the living room. He was crying all the time and I wanted to stop him. Julie was the next one to die. I cradled her up to my shoulder. When she quit crying, I released her and she wasn't breathing." She stated that she was in the bathroom when the oldest child, James, tried to come in the room. He kept screaming, "Mommy, Mommy." I used a bath towel to smother him. He got a bloody nose from fighting against the towel. Though Hoyt attempted to recant her confession, she was convicted of 5 murders and sentenced to 75 years to life and died behind bars in 1998 of pancreatic cancer. The research based on Hoyt's children was discredited and withdrawn, but just a few days ago, new research revealed a potential cause of SIDS, so hopefully actual cases may be able to be prevented in the future. If this is your birthday, hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know somebody whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Waneta Hoyt, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.